Good afternoon, friends. We are taking up on to question number 6. Mr. Ram, born on 1/4/1962, has a gross total income of rupees 2,90,000 for the assessment year 22-23, comprising of his salary income. He does not claim any deduction under Chapter 6A. He pays electricity bills of 10,000 per month. He made a visit to Melbourne along with his wife for a month in February 2022, for which he incurred to and fro flight charges of rupees 1.2 lakhs. The remaining expenditure for his visa stay and sightseeing amounting to rupees 80,000 was met by his son residing in Melbourne. Is Mr. Ram required to file return of income for the assessment year 22-23, and if so, why? No, Ram is not required to file his return of income. Yes, Ram is required to file his return of income since his gross total income exceeds the basic exemption limit. Yes, Ram is required to file his return of income since he pays electricity bills of rupees 10,000 per month, which exceeds the prescribed annual threshold. Yes, Ram is required to file his return of income since he has incurred foreign travel expenditure exceeding 1 lakh. Say this problem has got its own important inputs. They are given 1/4/1962, possibility that he could be a senior citizen, and for that they kept the gross total income a little below 3 lakhs just to divert the attention. And he does not claim Chapter 6A deduction. Before claiming Chapter 6A deduction, his gross total income is 2,90,000. Only for that purpose they are given. And he pays electricity bills of 10,000 per month on an average. Would mean, so he is expected to pay 1,20,000 rupees. That is one point. And he had just spent, he incurred to and fro flight charges of 1.2 and 80,000 visa and other expenses met out by his son. So all these points are worth considering, and the alternatives are: he is not required to file, he is required to file because income exceeds basic exemption limit, and 10,000 rupees towards electricity bill, and because he had incurred foreign travel expenditure exceeding 1 lakh. So even by chance, if you have selected B or C or D in all these cases, yes is the answer. So it is something like head or tail only. But under what clause we have chosen that the appropriate answer could be, say maybe yes, we should know the reason under which we have selected the answer yes. That is very important. It is not the question of yes being the basis of awarding marks. They will award the marks based on what provision you invoke to say yes. That's very important. So as a CA student, we should just look into chapter number 17, assessment procedure. Is it compulsory for an individual to file income tax return, even if the income does not exceed the basic exemption limit? So under that, we have just taken up this particular page in chapter number 17 of our ICI study material. So where we read this way: any person other than a company or a firm which is not required to furnish a return under section 139(1) would have to file income tax return in the prescribed form and the manner on or before the due date if during the previous year such a person has deposited an amount or aggregate of the amount exceeding 1 crore. This had not happened in this particular case. Then has incurred expenditure of an amount or aggregate of the amounts exceeding 2 lakhs for himself or any other person for travel to a foreign country. In this particular case, he had spent 1,20,000 rupees. His son had spent 80,000 rupees. Here, what is the wording? Has incurred. He did not incur an amount exceeding 2 lakhs. Even when an argument is taken up, this 80,000 were also spent by Mr. Ram, would mean he had spent only 2 lakhs, but not exceeding 2 lakhs. On that count, he is not expected to file return of income. Then next one, has incurred expenditure of an amount or aggregate of the amount exceeding 1 lakh towards consumption of electricity. So this particular problem in which it says that he pays 10,000 rupees per month would mean, So 10,000 into 12, roughly lakh and 20,000 rupees, or a little over lakh and 20,000, or a little less than lakh and 20,000 is sufficient to be attracted under this particular section, and where C could be considered as appropriate. The alternative is also cleverly worded. Yes, Ram is required to file his return of income since he pays electricity bill of 10,000 per month, which exceeds the prescribed annual threshold, which they have not mentioned as 1 lakh and 20,000 or 1 lakh or 1 lakh and 50,000. They have not mentioned that. So that way it is a very intelligent presentation. And of course, here they have mentioned 1 lakh is an indirect indication there. So yes, Ram is required to file his return since he had incurred foreign travel expenditure exceeding 1 lakh. So this threshold point is not correct. The threshold point for foreign travel is exceeding 2 lakhs. So considering all this present before us, the appropriate answer for this question is 6C. So with that, this individual question number 6 has come to an end. This is the basis on which you should argue, or you should make your deducing abilities to choose the correct answer. Thank you.